Hi guys, welcome to another Yoga Fit session. Today we are going to be focusing on the lower body. Now I know some of you have probably done quite a bit of a lower body workout before, but this is really going to be a Yoga Fit session. So we're going to be blending our yoga postures with a bit more fitness and strength training. So I really hope you enjoy this little lower body burner. It's going to be hopefully something that challenges you a little bit, but equally helps to build strength in this lower portion of your body, which is so important. So you're not going to really need anything, just a yoga mat will be perfect. And let's get started. So to begin with, we want to get ourselves a little bit warm and stretched out. So I'm going to get you to start working through some yoga postures, a little flow to get the body warm and to start to prepare you for what we're going to then be going into posture-wise and exercise-wise. So you're going to come to the top of the mat. And it's going to feel a bit like a normal yoga class. You're going to take a breath in. The arms are going to come up to the sides, up overhead. Breathe out, forward fold. Now when you get to your forward fold, I want you to take a moment here. And I just want you to rock from side to side. A little bend through the knees. Getting a bit of stretch into the backs of the legs, because we're going to be focusing on the backs of the legs. In the legs in particular, with this flow. You're going to take another breath here. And then from here, bringing the fingertips down, you're going to step your left leg back. And then you're going to lower down onto that left knee. You're going to untuck that back toe, and we're just going to move through shifting the hips back, stretching out the right leg. And then shifting forwards, stretching out the back of the left leg. And we're just going to alternate between these two, breathing as you move. Now, if your fingers aren't touching the ground and it feels really cramped here, then you could pop a couple of yoga blocks just underneath your fingertips, under your hands, just to help create a bit of space. If you haven't got yoga blocks, you can use something that is like a solid square that's both exactly the same size for each side. Or you could bring some cushions. The only challenge with cushions is that they aren't the most stable. Rocking back once more and then coming forwards. You're going to press the feet into the ground, rise the arms up forwards, take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to circle the hands behind, still pressing the feet into the ground. Interlace the fingers behind, stretch out, send the chest forwards. Good stuff. From here, we're going to lower ourselves down. So extend the arms forwards and then lower the hips down. And it may be a bit wobbly. That's absolutely fine. Now we want to get this foot that's underneath our hips out. So we're going to bring this leg out to the side and take ourselves into a little side stretch, reaching the right arm over the right leg, and then the left arm comes up over the top. We're going to bring ourselves all the way back, and then from here we're going to take a bend at this knee, step the left foot over, and then we're going to draw that knee in, left hand over behind the left side, looking over this shoulder. Really want to get a nice little stretch going through the outside of this leg. Come back to center. You're going to step that leg back. And then from here, press through the hands. We're going to walk our hands forwards. And then step the leg back. Come back into that little lunging pose for a moment. From here, we're going to go into a little lift and lower. Lifting the knee up and lowering. Last time, lifting up and then stepping the foot forwards. We're coming into our forward fold before taking a breath in, reaching the arms out to the sides, coming all the way back up. Breathing out, lowering the hands down. Good stuff. Take a breath in, reach up. Breathe out, swallow dive all the way down into your forward fold. From here, this time we're going to step our right leg back, lower onto the right knee, and again we're going to come back into that little rocking motion. So we're firstly stretching out through the back of the left leg, then we're stretching out through the back of this right leg. And you're just alternating between the two, stretching out through the legs, and then coming once more through those, and then back to the center. So then from here, you're going to shift the hips back, sit all the way down. And again, this time, you're going to take the right leg out to the right side. We're going to come into that side stretch first of all. So resting the left hand over the left leg, right arm lifts up, stretching out through the outside. So the stretch should come all the way down through the side here. And then lowering that hand back down, you're going to bring the knee up, shift yourself into the center of the mat, step that foot over, hug it in with the left arm, right arm goes back. Pause, take 2 breaths over to this right side. And then you're going to come back to the center, step the leg forwards. We're going to start to shift the weight forwards, creep the hands, and then step that foot in to find your forward fold. Step the feet a little wider than hip width distance and just create a little bit of movement here. So hopefully you're feeling a little warmer and fingers crossed a little bit more stretched out through the legs now. We're going to come up from here. So take a nice big breath in, reach the arms out. All the way up, bring the arms all the way back down to the chest. So we're going to move through a little bit of some of the postures that we're going to be holding. And then when we go into the kind of more fitness part of it, we're going to be holding for longer, we're going to be adding pulses, we're going to be changing up those movements so it's not just a flow. So from the top of the mat, take a breath in, reach the arms up. As you breathe out, you're going to step the left leg back. You're coming into your warrior one, kind of a lunge position. So there's a soft bend through the right leg. Both feet are in contact with the ground, the hips are square, facing forwards, and the arms are up. Then from here, we're going to open out the arms to the left side. Follow with that left foot and then step it back a little bit wider, coming into our warrior two. So nice and central through the body. This is nice and upright, arms extended out, fingertips reaching to each side. Your gaze is going to be over the front right palm. You're pausing there, just looking over that right hand, pressing the feet into the ground. We're then going to just rotate, bringing the right hand down. You can rest it up onto that knee. Left arm comes up overhead. We're going to pause here. We're then going to come back. So open the arms back out to the sides. And then from here, you're going to straighten that right knee and bring the feet parallel to the long edge of the mat. So they're both facing to the long edge of the mat. You can bring the hands down and then just step the feet in slightly. We're going to step the heels in a little so the feet turn out to the sides, and we're going to turn this into our goddess. So take a breath in, reach up. Breathe out, take a bend through the elbows and through the knees. Find your goddess pose. Pause here for a moment, make sure you're breathing. And then on your next inhale, you're going to reach up, straighten the arms and the legs. Breathe out, bring the arms all the way down to your sides. You're then going to heel toe the feet in to about hip width distance apart. And we're going to take a chair pose. So I'm going to turn to the side for the chair pose, but you're going to take a breath in, reach up, breathe out, sit back into an imaginary chair, press your feet down, and you're looking forwards or up to your hands. Then from here, take a breath in, breathe out, fold forwards. I'm going to twist myself around so we're facing the same way. Just take a couple of breaths here, stretch into the backs of the legs. Feel free to have a bend through the knees, but equally you might want to straighten and bend the knees to get a little more stretch through the backs of the legs. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms up, unfold from the hips. Breathe out, lower the hands down to the heart center. We're going to step back up to the top of the mat. Do the same sequence but onto the other side. So take a breath in, reach up with the arms. This time the right leg steps back. Coming into your warrior one pose. You're just looking forwards, pausing, breathing. Then from here we're going to open it out to warrior two. So this time twisting around to the right side. You can step that right foot back a little bit. Little bend through that front left knee. Fingertips extending, looking over the left hand. Then we're going to lower the left arm down towards the knee. Place it onto the leg. Reach up with the right arm. Reaching all the way back with the right arm. Opening both the arms out, extending the fingertips out, and then straightening the legs. From here, I'm going to twist myself all the way around, but stay with the same footing. And then you're going to bring the feet back to parallel. You're going to take a nice big breath in, reach up. Nice big breath out, lower the arms down. Then from here, we're going to turn the feet out just a fraction. We're going to find that warrior pose, or the goddess pose, sorry. Take a breath in, reach up. Breathe out, take a bend at the elbows, a bend at the knees. Find your goddess pose. Draw the ribs in, the belly in towards the spine. Squeeze through the legs, through the glutes. Reach up. Exhale the arms all the way back down. Heel toe the feet back in. And we're going to come back to our chair pose. So take a breath in, reach the arms up above, feet are about hip width distance apart. Exhale, sit down into that imaginary chair. Press the feet down, look forwards or up towards the hands. Take a breath in, breathe out, fold forwards. Take a few breaths here. And we're going to then spice this up a little bit. So, one more breath here. And then we're going to unfold. So, reach the arms out to the sides as you take a breath in. Press into the feet. Reach up. Breathe out. Bring the hands to the heart center. Coming back up to the top of the mat. So, changing it up this time. So, take a breath in. The arms come up and forwards. Breathe out, step the left leg back. Your warrior one pose, which is a little bit like a lunge. You're going to exhale the arms down for a moment, bring them onto the hips, and then lift the back heel. So you're really going to find a nice little lunge pose here. The leg can go back a little bit more, and then we're going to do some dips. So really press the feet into the ground, stabilize using the legs and the glutes, draw the belly in, and then we're going to do some little dips coming down and up, down and up. Two more. Embrace the wobbles. And then we're going to lower down and we're going to hold for 2, 3, 4, and lift it up. From here, take a breath in, arms come up and forwards. Breathe out, they open up to the left side, and so does the foot coming into your warrior two. Nice little bend through that front right foot. right leg, right knee, and you're looking over the right hand. Take some nice big breaths. Pause and hold. From here, you're going to bring the right forearm down to that leg, reaching up with the left arm. We're going to pause and hold here. So really press into the feet, reach up with that top hand, and squeeze through the glutes, through the legs. Press the feet down. You're pausing and holding here. Keep breathing. And then you're going to open back up, lift up, find your warrior two. I know your legs are screaming right now, but keep squeezing them, keep holding them there. And then release the arms, straighten that knee. Bring that right foot round, so toes to the long edge of the mat. And then from here, just open the feet out a little bit so the heels tuck a little bit more in towards the body. The toes flare out to the sides a little bit. We're going to come into that goddess pose. So take a breath in, reach the arms up. Breathe out, take a bend through the elbows and the knees. You're going to pause here and hold. And what I want you to do is draw the belly in. Really squeeze through the legs, squeeze through the glutes, and draw the shoulder blades together. Feel really nice and strong through the arms. And from here, we're going to do some little lifts. So take a nice big breath in. Breathe out, press up onto the balls of the feet. We're going to hold here, so keep breathing. Embrace the wobbles, the shakes. You're going to take one more breath here. And then release the heels down. Take a breath in, reach up. Breathe out, bring the arms all the way down to your sides. Heel toe the feet in. Bring them back into the center. We're going to come into that chair pose. So with your chair pose this time, I'm going to get you to face the back of your mat so we can keep facing one another when it comes to the video. You're going to take a breath in, reach up with the arms. Breathe out, sit back into that imaginary chair. Draw the belly in, pause and hold. Take one more breath. And then we're going to do some little dips. So we're going to sink lower and lift up. Just a fraction. You've got two more. Take a breath in and hold. Breathe out, fold forwards. A forward fold has never felt so great, I know. Pause here, take 3 big breaths. Feel free to sway from side to side. Add a little bit of movement here. Gets into the backs of the legs, maybe with a bit of straightening and bending of the knees. Really customize it to what your body needs right now. And then we're going to come up. So take a breath in, reach the arms out to the sides, lift up and fold from the hips, nice straight back. Breathe out, lower the hands down to the chest. Step up to the back of your mat, the top of the back of your mat. Very confusing. Take a breath in as we come onto the other side. Breathe and reach up. Breathe out, you're going to step the right leg back. Find your warrior one pose. Pause, take a few breaths. Press the feet into the ground, draw the ribs in, the belly in. And then you're going to shift that foot a little further behind, lift that back heel, and we're going to come back into those little dips. So you're going to lower and lift, lower and lift. 2 more. Lift. Once more. We're going to pause and hold at the bottom. And then press through the legs. Open up the arms to the right side. The right foot comes with. You're coming into your warrior two this time. with the left leg leading in front, so you're looking over that left back of the hand. Pausing here, taking some nice big breaths. Really press into those feet, nice and centered through the torso, really active through the arms. Come on, I know you've got it in you. And then from here, you're going to bring the back of your left arm down to the top of your left leg. Reach the right arm up overhead and reach out through the right fingertips. We're pausing and holding here, just breathing. Really pressing the feet into the ground, nice and active through the arms and through the torso. We're not just slumping into this, we're really active through the upper body as well as the lower body. Open the arms back out to the sides. Pause here for a moment. And then lower the arms, straighten that front knee. Turn both feet so the toes are facing the long edge of the mat. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. I knew you needed that. You're going to bring the heels in just a fraction so the toes are just flaring out to the side slightly. We're going to come back into that goddess pose. So take a breath in, reach the arms up. Breathe out, take a bend through the elbows and the knees. Come into that goddess pose. Draw the belly in, ribs in. Almost feels like your pelvis kind of tucks under a little bit. But it's really just stabilizing so you're not sticking your butt out. Not too much anyway. From here, you're going to hold for one more breath. And then we're going for that lift. So take a breath in. Breathe out, lift up onto the toes, onto the ball of the feet. We're pausing and holding. Keep breathing. You've got this. Keep going. And lower. Reach up on the next inhale. Breathe out, bring the arms down to your sides. Heel toe the feet back in, because you know what's coming next. It's chair pose. Essentially a squat, very similar to a squat. So, feet hip width distance apart. We're now facing the top of our mat. And this is really so that you could go back through and practice this again. This is going to be our last move before we cool down and stretch. But feel free to do that round through once again if you wish. So that's why I'm turning you around to the top of the mat. Take a breath in, reach the arms up. Breathe out, sit down into that imaginary chair. You're going to pause and hold breathing. Looking forwards or up to the hands. And then we're going to add those little dips in. So you're going to lower slightly and lift. Lower, lift, one more. Lower, lift. From here, take a breath in. Breathe out, forward fold. I lied earlier when I said forward fold never felt better. Now a forward fold never felt better. From here, you're just going to breathe. Take some big breaths. And like I said, if you want to go again, feel free to rewind. Repeat that through a second time. If you just fancy cooling down at this point, that's where we're headed. So from here, you're going to lower the hips down. You're going to come into like a little crouch. And then you're going to walk the hands behind you. Lower the hips down. Extend the legs forwards. Bet that feels nice. It does for me too. You're going to take some nice big breaths here. Find a nice tall torso. Take a breath in and reach the arms up. And then breathe out, fold forwards. Bring the hands either side of the legs. And you're just getting a nice little bend through the back a little bit here. A little bit of stretch through the back. which can be elongated and stretched further by lowering the head down towards, looking down towards the legs. But also the great benefit of this after the session we've just done is this is again stretching out through the backs of the legs. Now if they're super tight, you can pop something underneath the knees, but the aim here for me is for you to get some stretch through the back of the legs. So if it's too tight, I'd rather encourage you to come up a little higher with the torso so that you can still get that nice little bit of stretch. And what you might want to do is with each exhale, maybe fold a little deeper so you're increasing the stretch through the backs of the legs. You're going to take 2 more deep breaths here. And then slowly walk the hands back towards the hips. Sit up nice and tall. Take a bend through the right knee. Step it over. We're going to hug it in with the left. Right arm comes behind, and I want you to work on bringing that knee in towards the chest forward, so you're really maximizing on that stretch through the back, the side, and into the glute here. So the back and the side of the leg and into the glute. As well as getting into the torso, obviously, with a nice little torso twist. One more breath here. Come back round to the center. And you're going to step that leg back out. Then take a bend through the left knee, step it over. You guessed it. Right arm comes in, hugs it in. Left arm comes behind. Really lock that leg in with this right arm and draw it in towards the body. You want to draw it in and really maximize on that stretch through that leg and into the glute. And you're just looking over that left shoulder or over to that left side, making sure you're bringing the body towards the leg. One more breath. And then bring yourself back round. You're stepping that leg over, extending it out. And you are all done. Well done, guys. Okay, so I know you absolutely smashed that session. Did you do it twice through? No? Yeah? Just an idea for you. If you fancy upping it a little bit, you could do it through a second time. You could add in another little session. But it's just a little bit of an idea for you if you wanted to sort of ramp it up a little bit. But a nice little juicy session for your lower body. A little bit of a burner for the lower body. Mine definitely was burning in places. But a really great one, and I can't stress how having strong glutes and strong legs is so important, especially with yoga where we do a lot of, where we can do a lot of stretching. It's so important to have muscle strength as well. So although I teach a lot of that within my classes, it's really, really important to also do a little bit of kind of more fitness training to really maximize on that and make sure that you're in the best condition possible. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for joining me again. I always appreciate you being here, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, guys. Bye.